my name is Master Sergeant Corry Yokley. I'm with the 944th Fighter Wing, Aeromedical Staging Squadron. So I've been in the Air Force for 19 years. My main job is medical logistics, so I support the medical mission with the Air Force. I've always been in the reserve. A large part of why I joined the Air Force is I grew up next to an Air Force base. It has since closed, but I grew up next to an Air Force base, so that had a lot to do with me joining the Air Force opposed to Army, Marines, Navy. The reserve, I just like the idea of being able to be a citizen airman, still have my civilian job, and be able to fight for and defend our country when needed. So I've been with the 944th Fighter Wing for a little under 3 years, and my civilian job at the same time I got a promotion, a new management promotion, so life was looking good. And about 3 months after that, in March of 2021, I was informed I needed to fill a short task deployment to Afghanistan. This was a little bit interesting to me since we were supposed to be leaving Afghanistan, so I wasn't quite sure why I was going, but nevertheless, I was there to answer the call. You know, so starting at the beginning, being in Bagram, we knew that we were part of history there. Not knowing what was going to take place after that, closing down Craig Joint Theater Hospital is, in the medical community, that's monumental. That hospital's been there for around 20 years, named after an Army combat medic who was basically killed in the line of duty, gave his life to save others, and that's why the hospital was named after him. Moving on to Kabul, had no idea what that was going to entail and how big that was going to be on, you know, the world platform. However, we did get security briefs every week where you could see the Taliban was closing in and starting to surround the capital city of Kabul, right where we were at. A little nerve-wracking. You see them moving in and surrounding you, and really at that point your only way out is air support. But even that, at the time, was a little dangerous. Yeah. So, as we're doing all of the planning, and we saw the Taliban closing in closer and closer to Kabul, I knew, you know, it was a matter of time before they were going to be at our doorstep, and that's exactly what happened. They took over the capital, and once they did that, local citizens started to panic, and they came and rushed the airport and the airfield because that was their only way out. You know, they were scared, they were terrified, they wanted a way out. So that's what prompted everything, and shortly thereafter we started the evacuations. It was about a week and a half later, after those tens of thousands of people started gathering at the gate, that we were getting reports of possible attacks and suicide bombs. So we were taking things very, very seriously. And unfortunately, on August 26th at about 5:50 p.m., a suicide bomb did go off, and we received an influx of 70+ patients during a mass cow. We prepared the best we could. So basically, full battle rattle, helmet, 24/7, those sorts of things. When the mass cow happened, I had just left the hospital, went back to my dorm room, and I was there for 10 minutes, and then we get an alert that there's a mass casualty event. Mass casualty can be anywhere from a handful of people up to, you know, thousands, or, you know, however you want to categorize it. So we weren't sure how many people we were going to get, because I did not hear the bomb go off. But when we showed up, just people upon people just started showing up in vehicles of opportunity. Marines driving their friends who were injured, driving them in on flatbed trucks, just whatever they could find. The proximity of the bomb, as the crow flies, was only about 3/4 of a mile from the hospital. The route they had to drive was about 2.5 miles to get around the airfield to the hospital. But when the casualties started showing up, I can only explain it as something that you see in a movie. You kind of you watch these movies, you wonder if they're real, if that's how things really happen. A lot of it, I'm sure, is far-fetched, but for me, the only way I can explain it, it was like a movie. Just people upon people that were you know, victims of the bomb just kept showing up. It was very, I don't want to say chaotic, because there was a lot going on, because we all knew what we were supposed to do. There was a lot going on at one time. One of the biggest reasons I like to share now is because there were 13 members who were killed in that suicide attack. They cannot be forgotten. You know, us medical personnel who were there were very close to that. We brought all 13 of them in. I myself made sure that we had the caskets and the flags. And then beyond that, we still forget that there were other U.S. soldiers that were injured, that they survived, but they were injured, and they don't get talked about that much as well. You know, they put their lives on the line. So a large part of this, talking about it, is making sure that they're not forgotten, for sure. And then there's a large part of this that is just bringing awareness to individuals, and, you know, letting people know that, you know, things like this can happen that are unpredictable, and you just need to be prepared. But at the same time, you might come across an accident on the freeway, or God forbid, an active shooter or something of that nature. You know, all of your training you get here will be put to good use, you know, anytime, anywhere. So just stick with it. It's, you know, anything you get on this side, on the military side in uniform, you can use them on the civilian side. So.